Good morning, students. This is waris Jamal. Welcome back to you again in my YouTube channel. Today is this 9th of May 2020. Students, in the previous classes I have made a video regarding the software and their types. In the previous class I give information about what are the different types of software, and one of them I has discussed about the operating system. In the today's my video I am going to discuss about the function of operating system or a system software. As you can see on my board, system software or operating system system software is also called operating system. In this, today I am going to discuss about what are the different functions that is performed by the operating system or system software. The students, I already told you an operating system is just like a soul that we have in our body. On the same way, in the computer, operating system is function as a whole, as a soul of the computer system. In today's class, first function I'm going to discuss is booting. Booting means processing of starting computer. Students, whenever a computer is startup, that process is called booting. And booting is controlled by the operating system. The first function is to be performed by the operating system is booting. The booting first tells the computer what are the necessary devices. Check the necessary devices that are responsible for the starting of the computer system. In the process of booting, the computer system checks the computer devices and make it ready to work. To perform their function, just as how monitor is plugged or not, mouse is plugged or not, keyboard is plugged or not, RAM, hard disk, and each of the part are working properly or not. The operating system, before the starting, when the booting starts up, the operating system checks all the necessary components that are responsible for the starting of computer. It's firstly checked during the process of booting. It checks all the components of the computer system and then make the computer system ready. If there any error in any kind of the hardware component that are responsible for starting of the computer and performance of the computer properly, then it will give the message on the screen as well as creating beep sound from the system. It will give the beep sound as well as the displaying the message on the screen. For example, if the operating system is not working properly, if the operating system is crashed, the operating system also gives the message about the operating system is crashed. Okay, it will not boot up properly. This is the first function that is to be performed by the operating system during the process of booting. The second process that I am going to discuss, that is called memory management. Memory management means, you know very well, students, in the computer system there are two different types of memory are used: internal memory and external memory. How the files is to be handled by the RAM or is to be handled by the hard disk, where the file is to be saved, where the file is not to be saved, what is the modification date, what is the time of modification, what file is necessary for the processing of particular application, and where that application is stored up. is all over controlled by the operating system. That comes in the memory management. Memory management means it manage all the internal memory as well as the external memory. It define the date, time of the computer system file, when it is created and where it is being saved. Whenever you search the file, it will give the exact location of the file it is saved, and at what time it was modified, at what time it was edited, at what time it was created. All things are stored in the computer system. It is controlled by the memory management. That is the one of the function of the operating system. Okay. The next thing that I am going to discuss is the loading and execution of program. The loading and execution means loading and execution. Students, you install a lot of program in this computer system, a lot of application software, other type of software you install in the computer system. So how these operating system, how these application is startup, how these are startup and ready to work. The operating system gets started this particular the particular application that you are going to open, startup and load it in the memory location. The memory location means internal memory location, and get ready for the execution, and it will display on the computer screen. For example, whenever you open MS Word, it will you go to start menu and then click on the MS Word icon, MS Word button, MS Word option, whatever. So then MS Word is starting up, it's checking the memory, it's checking the necessary file of starting the MS Word. It required the space also. It required the space also in the internal memory to start up, to execute. Whenever any file is missing, or any kind of error is committed during the execution of the particular program, the operating system will solve it. And if it is not able to solve the problem, then it will give the message to the user about the error, and it is load. And if there is no error during the execution or during the loading, it will display on the screen and you are able to work all there. These all controlled by the operating system. I think it is clear. Now the third portion is, the fourth one is data security. Fourth one is data security. Data security means in defining the security of files from the unauthorized accessing. Student, you know very well, whenever you are applying a password in your system, then no illegal function can be performed on that particular file. How it is controlled, how it is been managed, how it is been known. For example, you are giving the password. How it is been remembered, the particular user had given this particular password. It is controlled, it is managed by the operating system. That come in that category of data security. Data security means operating system do not allow any illegal or unauthorized user to access your file. Unauthorized accessing, unauthorized modification, unauthorized deleting also. Whenever you have seen many times, whenever you are working on a particular application software and you try to remove the file, then it will give the message the file cannot be removed, the file cannot be copied. Just same like this message is appear. So data security means it secures the data from the unauthorized accessing also. Now disk management. Disk management is at least same as the function of disk management is same as the function of memory management, but some difference in that. Actually, disk management means hard disk management. Hard disk management means which part of the hard disk is used for the storing of the operating system file, which part of the hard disk is to be used for the storing of information of a particular user. What part of the hard disk is not working properly is run this defermentation tool to clean up the bad sectors and bad files and unauthorized files. Unauthorized file means that is temporary files, that is temporary file, or those are all controlled by the disk management. Disk management means the management process about related to the disk, related to the hard disk. That's come in the category, but that means it is also controlled by the operating system. Process management, what it mean by process management? Actually, students, when you open a lot of open 2 or 3 program at a time, 2 or 3 program at a time, then the process management under the category of operating system function, process management manage what file, what application is to be used, and what fraction of time is to be given by this CPU and CPU for the processing of particular action which is given by the particular instruction or action which is given by the user. It is to be controlled by the process management. What action is to be performed, when you have to click, when you have to open the file, when you have to close the file, when you have to modify the file, when you have to download the file, when you have to upload the file, is all things are controlled by the operating system. That comes in under the category of process management. Device management is a type of management of the device. Device means all the hardware components is to be controlled and managed by the computer operating system. For example, I'm just giving the example. If you are using system and you are not plugging any USB, any pen drive in it, when you plugged a USB drive or a pen drive inside your system, automatically a pop-up will display to you your USB with the name of the USB will display on the screen, is ready to work. How it is being managed, how it is been indicated by the operating system? It is indicated by the operating system by the help of the device management. For example, I am giving the next example to you. For example, when you are trying to print out the file, but your printer is not installed. When you are giving the printing command to your computer system and the computer is not plugged with the printer, then you will give the message printer is not attached, or any message regarding that. For example, your printer is attached and the printer is not on. Then it will give the message on the screen, the printer is not ready to work. How it is being managed? How it is being controlled? This is controlled by the device management. That is the main function. That is the function of the operating system. This is the operating system function in device management or device control. Okay. The next thing that I am going to discuss here is called providing interface. Providing interface means it actually provide an environment, provide a place where have to perform the action, Actually, providing interface means, for example, when you are working with MS Windows, Microsoft Windows, then it will provide the GUI interface, graphical user interface. Some of the operating system provide the character command user interface. That's like Linux, like Unix. It will provide you, just as MS DOS, it will provide the command user interface operating system. This here the user interact with the system by giving the command. So where you interact with the system, you need some space, you need some console, you need some interface from where you just give the command to the user. You just give the command to the computer. So providing interface is also the main functioning of the operating system. Without providing the interface, a user cannot commit any kind of function. Without any function, the computer is useless, operating system is useless. So the computer operating system provide you the interface to work with, to give the command, to give the instruction, to store the data. How can it be controlled? It can be controlled by the operating system by providing the interface also. Okay. And the last thing that I am going to discuss is about the printing control. Printing control means, for example, yes, you are trying to print 2 or 3 pages at a time. You are giving 2 or 3 printing command at a time. Printer know very well page contain what kind of data? It cannot intermix the data. Cannot intermix the data of the different pages. So the printer control category, printer control function is to be controlled by the operating system. It will display the data of particular page. In the particular page also, it do not intermix the data of one page to another page. It is to be controlled by the operating system. As students, these are the things that I have discussed here. There is the most 9 important functions is to be controlled by the operating system. So I think it is clear to you. And in the next class, I will discuss more about the different types of system, software, and their function I have discussed. And the next I will discuss about the application software and their types. Thank you very much.